Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, June 20th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I practice mental mastery. And today we are in our final full day of Sun in Gemini. Do you want to take a brief glance at the week ahead? Obviously, finishing up Sun in Gemini is a big deal. On Tuesday, we're going to have the Sun move into Cancer, 2:14 a.m., bringing in some emotional energies. So we'll dig deeper into that in tomorrow's scope. The day after that, we have Venus actually finishing up in Taurus and moving into Gemini. So one planet moves out of Gemini, one planet moves into Gemini. Venus finishing up in Taurus these next few days. Watch your urge to spend, watch your urge to eat, watch your urges about anything sensual, including even wanting to sit in the sun too long, right? Venus is just like more and more and more, soaking it up before leaving into Gemini. Anything can be overdone, right? So staying in balance, staying in that harmony will be good. Also, Venus finishing up in Taurus the next few days really is a call to honor, look at, notice that which you value in your world and what is the trade for it. And if that's working out, if that's, equal, I guess is the best wording for that. Besides that, it's a overall quietish week. We will be going towards dark of the moon. We won't really hit that until next weekend. But we're going to be heading into dark of the moon, new moon territory as the week closes out. So for today, Sun at 29 degrees Gemini, really strong mental energy. Practicing your mastery of the mind is a great thing. So funny, I just looked at the cards now. I forgot to look at them. The only upright card I actually have is the Control card. Generally, I'm not a big fan of the Control card, but this is the King of Swords. And so it's like, be pointed with your mind. Be laser with your mind. Be aware of what your mind is doing and where it's going. This is going to play a bigger part later this year when Mars moves into Gemini, and we'll be going all the way through Gemini and then a really big retrograde back through most of Gemini and through again. So really working our control parameters, I don't know what the best word would be, but having some jurisdiction, that's a good word, over our mental processes is a really positive thing in and through this energy, and that will only benefit you as Mercury continues to move through Gemini. Speaking of Mercury and Gemini today, Mercury is connecting to Jupiter. So we have Jupiter in Aries, Mercury in Gemini. This combination can be rather impulsive. Has an idea, wants to do the idea. So that's how we're starting off our Monday with those energies. To be fair, it is 12:44 a.m. that they meet, make their strongest connection. However, that may be driving the day. So be aware of the impulsive energies and make sure that you check in. One of the cards I have today is the Maturity card in reverse. So we may not be necessarily acting from a mature place in this. They may be knee-jerk reactions. It may just be like, oh, that's fun kind of reactions, which is fine. But do be aware of that. We then have the moon going through, making the rest of the connections through the day. The moon is going to be connecting to Neptune. Definitely brings us into more of a daydreamy place with moon and Neptune. Daydreamy, strong, intuitive hits. That's one thing that I work through a lot, is listening to intuition versus the mind. I actually have my ascendant at 29 degrees Gemini. So working to listen to my intuition above the yelling of my mind can be quite a challenge. So we're definitely facing that today in the energies. But it's a good practice to start sorting out, okay, that was definitely mind, okay, that was intuition. And intuition is usually like a calmer, quieter voice, whereas mind is like all over the place a lot of times. So just be aware of that today as you try to discern the difference. And of course, that's my difference. Maybe your difference is a little bit different, and that's okay too. Moon then connecting with Venus for 11 p.m. That's going to bring on some lazy cat, so you may be really done by the end of Monday with the moon in Pisces connecting to Venus and Taurus. Just nice time to relax, have a good dinner, self-care. Self-care is the name of that game. Moon and Pluto connecting 5 p.m. Pacific time. Again, empowering your intuition, empowering your inner voice is what that feels like. Like, let it be, as much as possible, with 29-degree Gemini, a quieter evening, introspection, again, listening to your intuition, and being aware as well. This is another important thing for 29 Gemini, where some of the mental stuff that you are like regurgitating is actually connected to things other people have said and that you've taken on as wisdom or truth or something along those lines that may not actually be. So keep that in mind as well. Sun squaring the moon, again, yeah, sorting through. That's kind of like the theme of the day, sorting through the information. Between your inner voice, between the mind, between what you've picked up from outside, and even the illusions. You know, Neptune energy can tune us into illusion, whereas we're accepting the illusion or being like, oh, that's illusion, noticing the illusion. So be aware of, that energy, both sides of those coins. We finish up with the moon shifting into Aries, 8:37 p.m. Pacific time. So moon moving into Aries just in time, just in time to go to sleep, right? But maybe there'll be some last minute bedtime things that come up, need some actionable energy with that. I do want to say that we are building to Venus trine Pluto early on Tuesday. Even though a trine is a happy, easy connection, anytime there's Pluto, there can be stuff. So this may be stuff around money in the world. This may be stuff around your personal worth, around your values. This can also bring up stuff around relationships. So just watch, because that'll be building, and watch the stories that Mercury is telling. Let's look at the rest of the cards. Harmony in reverse. So definitely could be feeling that with that building Venus Pluto energy. A lot of times that harmony imbalance, though, is imbalanced in yourself. A lot of times it's because you're listening to the stories of your mind and not necessarily listening to your heart, which is like, hey, I promise it's okay. Hey, I promise it's okay. Hey, I promise it's okay, right? So be aware of that. I also have going with the flow in reverse. So it might be one of those days that despite this moon in Pisces that wants us to flow, that we're really feeling a little what? So be aware of that. And just keep doing your best to come back to what is true for you, what's aligned for you. Even if you are not completely in your flow, stay true to your values. That's the utmost importance. Last card, outsider. Inner child stuff coming up, and that may be tied to some of this worth stuff. That could be tied to some of those energies coming on later in the day. So be aware of that. How do you include your inner child? How do you include those pieces of yourself that may have been locked out? How do you move forward integrating those energies? And maybe if we do that, we can flip the maturity card upside right? All right. Funny, you need to process your inner child to be in maturity. Makes sense, right? All right, so let's leave that here for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. If you would like to support these daily scopes, please consider joining my Patreon group. You don't have to participate, but you can always support me putting out these daily scopes. So, besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.